hate it when people pull up like they're already at the stop light, but then they pull up more just so they can look at my car. I got to get my windows tinted because this is crazy. I think I'm the only person in the world that does not have their windows tinted in a southern state. Which I call it fishbowl. I'm rocking a fishbowl. You guys tell me what you think about this, and I need your opinion on why you think this guy kind of curbed me, okay? So I'm at the VA for my appointment, and he drives the shuttle because the parking is horrendous, right? And so I'm going to my car, and the shuttle's still there, so I flag it down, and I'm smiling from ear to ear because there's this old man outside of the entrance singing the blues, and he's horrible, by the way. He's not even like good. He's playing the guitar, but not really, like ain't nothing really coming out but like a ding. Anyways, I'm dying laughing to myself, you know, so I'm smiling. I get on, I sit down, and I'm still smiling until we pull off. And I was gonna make a joke because the guy driving the shuttle was playing a country song, right? And I was gonna say something like, I think he's trying to compete with what you got on the radio or something like that, but I left it, you know. And so I would have cracked the joke because, you know, the guy driving the shuttle was, you know, probably like my age or whatever. But I didn't say anything because there were two older people on, and so I'm just like, I'll let it slide, right? So anyways, he asked me where am I parked, and I yelled it out. And I don't even know why I yelled it, but after I yelled it, I was like, damn, that was kind of loud, right? So anyways, he drops off the other two people, and it's just me and him. And then he cracks a joke and says something to the effect of, you probably should claim hearing loss because you loud as hell, right? So we're laughing and cracking about that or whatever. And we start having a conversation, and he's like, what branch were you in? I'm like, Air Force. How long did you do? I did 20 years and 10 days. He was like, dang. He's like, right at 20 you got out. I was like, heck yeah. And I asked him, you know, what branch he was in the Navy for, whatever. And so we're having dialogue or whatever, and he was asking me, how do I feel about being retired for a few years, what it feels like. And I told him it was bittersweet. And he actually was like, well, why would you say that? What makes it bittersweet for you? And I'm thinking, oh shit, he's actually like interested. He's intrigued, you know, he's asking questions like Joe said, you know, things that turn women on is if you actually ask questions as if you give a damn, right? So I go into a long thing of, you know, how when you make it to a certain level, you know, you're needed and you're constantly putting out fires. And when I retired, like literally the day I retired, like all phone calls stopped, all text messages stopped, you know. And so that my body had an emotional reaction that I didn't expect to have. So I was going into that, and then I asked him a couple questions about himself, and then we get into the fact that he moved back from wherever he was, and you know, the things that he likes and dislikes about the area and why he's here because of his parents, blah, blah, blah. And so we had a commonality in the fact that the food here in Virginia sucks. Like, you really cannot find a good restaurant out here. And so we were vibing on that, so much so that he, you know, parked the car, hadn't opened up the door for me to get out. We were just chopping it up, you know. So I'm thinking, oh, this guy likes me. But I think this is where I fucked up, y'all. And you tell me. So in talking about the food, I say, yes, the food is so bad here that every so often me and my son go up to the DMV area to get good food. And I think that's where the tides turn. I think he was going to at least ask me for my Instagram if I hadn't mentioned the fact that I have a son, because we were vibing heavy. Like, we were just, he was cool. I wasn't necessarily attracted to him. But what attracts me is aura. Your aura and your vibe and your frequency. And he was just funny, cool, could carry a conversation, smart. You know, he was doing like real estate investing and stuff like that. And I really would have liked to have chopped it up with him about that. But I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna be honest, I really ain't had nowhere to go. But I didn't want him to think that I literally had all day to sit there and chop it up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl is booked and busy. So anyways, but after I mentioned that, we still kept talking about food, but I'm sure that was like in the back of his head, like, she got a kid, and, you know, let me just finish this conversation and it'd be what it was. But yeah, you know, so I was like, all right, well, you know, and then he opens up the door. I was like, I'll see you around. I'll see you again. You know, I left it out like that. But as I think about it and how I'm not necessarily looking for anybody, or I'm not looking to be coupled, I'm kind of just reveling in the fact that I get to raise my kid and do that. I think for me, maybe it's an ego thing at this point, because say he did, because I had to play this in my head, like, well, Mo, say he did say, can I get your information? Can I get, what were you going to say? You know, what were you going to say? Oh, yeah, sure. You know, and then just kind of keep it at a platonic level as far as like no intimacy, no nothing? Or would you have been honest and been like, yo, I'm not really looking for anything, you know? And the thing is, when you tell people that, when they get your information, they automatically, it's like they're hardwired to say, well, no, I'm just looking for friends. Like, you seem cool, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we could, you know, chop it up, or maybe we could support each other. You said you do YouTube, da-da-da. But, you know, so I don't like saying that, because then they feel like, oh, damn, you know, like their ego, their pride is busted, because it's like, well, what makes you think I was trying to holler at you anyway? I was just, you know, I just thought you was cool and maybe we could support each other, da-da-da-da. You know, those are the type of things I get when I say, I can't, or whatever. So I guess my ego is a little crushed, because I'm like, dang, we're vibing. What could it have been? Was it that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was straight. I was looking cute, smelling good, you know? So I don't know. I think that was it. I think, and, you know, we didn't have a conversation enough for me to say, well, do you have children? You know? But he didn't mention children. He didn't mention family. But these days, it feels like everybody, especially if you're a decent man, you know, there's always somebody. And that could have been it too. Maybe he had somebody at home and he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why that thought didn't cross my mind. Maybe he is with somebody, but he just struck up a conversation. He's a driver all day. He probably gets bored. You know what I'm saying? 85% of the people that get on his shuttle, you know, are 70 and up. So it could have been that too. I don't know. But y'all tell me what you think.